moving over to the doctor, Doc Rivers. So we may stay on this one for a while. This may be a fairly longer than usual episode, but nonetheless, great content. So y'all hanging there with us. We still got about to talk about the 76ers, and then we're gonna talk about our Eastern Conference and Western Conference predictions. Who wants to go first? I'll just say this: Doc Rivers, top 10 all-time winningest coach in the regular season and playoffs. And he has a Game 7 record of 6-10, which is the most Game 7 losses in NBA coaching history. The next closest to that is 5 Game 7 losses. There's a partial argument to say when you have coached as long as Doc Rivers has, I mean, you're bound to lose a handful of games or what have you. But apart from that argument, we haven't talked about this in a while. I know we normally bring this up when we're talking about NFL games and, quarterbacks, receivers, so on and so forth, coaching personnel. What is the appropriate blame meter for distributing the blame on the 76ers between Doc Rivers, the MVP and Joel, and James Harden? I want to start off, I'll say this and give it to you, Izzo. I believe that out of those three, Harden deserves the less amount of blame. And we can go from there.
I'll immediately address that. The fact that Harden gave you 240 balls and you wasted them in the series and couldn't get over the hump, knowing his track record, extremely tough. On the Doc Rivers. Choke artist extraordinaire. He is who we thought he always was. The king of making no God, hey guys, hey, we're fine. No, we're not. We're not. You gotta adjust. Force feed the ball to Joe. But I want to give a bulk of that blame to Joel Embiid.
Thank you,
Mr. MVP, Mr. PJ Tucker just got in my ear for me to demand the ball because I didn't demand it 3 possessions in a row. Come on, man. You let a whole third quarter go by when your team was in a 33-5 run and you didn't get one post up and demand the ball and go to work on somebody when you have a mismatch every time. That's inexcusable. Bulk of the blame is on Joel Embiid for not being the MVP that he was supposed to be. And that just can't fly. Like I said, James gave you 240. I don't know what else you're going to ask. Because, you're going to get a couple stinkers in there, 14 points or whatever. But he gave you 40 twice. And that's a lot.
That's a hell of a lot.
For him. And it ain't going to lie, for anybody, though, to give you 240 balls in the series, like, you can't say he didn't.
Against a team like them. Against a team like Boston.
Against a team like Boston. That's tough.
This ain't against no 8 seed.
Because everybody thought the first one, that's a fluke. Can he do it again? Apparently, yes, he can.
I can. With you on the court, Embiid. With you on the court.
Exactly. So I'm just, man, same old six. And then they quit, bro. When they was getting on that run in the third quarter, bro, they just tapped out. All I could see Cancun in their eyes. I could see the strip club and Hard Eyes. You could just see it, bro. Like they sailed it in, man. But anyway, I'm done on poverty sixes.
Yeah, so I say, I think I concur with the group that James Harden, 0%, 50-50, Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid. I say it all the time. That's y'all's MVP, America. That's not my MVP. I think it should have went to Jokic. I'm sorry. I always think the award should go to the real dogs. Jokic is a real dog. Steph, real dog. LeBron, real dog. I've never seen a real dog in Joel Embiid. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Never, not once. And people try to persuade me, and I just wait around, and a nigga will get an MVP sitting on a bench. I'm like, okay, no problem. But then you get a game 7, and you lose. I don't remember when the MVP start losing game sevens.
And when do they give press conference talking about man James can't do everything? Nigga, you just won MVP. Nigga, go average 35 and 12 and stop bitching in my ear.
And we ain't even talked about the biggest elephant in the room as to why this needs to be. I say give more blame to Joel. I know some people are going to try to talk about, well, they got to really dig in and see if he really needs to get that surgery because clearly he wasn't out there being himself. When he win, he himself. It can't be he not himself, and it's because of injury when he lose. If you step out there on the court and you call yourself,
would hate that,
and you call yourself available, yo, you either gonna get the job done or you not. All right, like simple and plain. So
we can do it, baby. Simple and plain.
Game 6, you get Game 6 with Jason Tatum having arguably the worst game of his life.
He came alive in that fourth though,
and he came alive like a moth in the summertime, bro.
Okay, so
Ross.
Ross.
Hey, but Jason Tatum starts off the game in Game 6 going 0 for 10. 1 point in the first half. I was about to say first quarter. 1 point or maybe 3 points in the first half. This is your moment of glory, Embiid. This is your moment to be the MVP that you so desperately desired and wanted. And Jason Tatum outscores y'all in the last 12 to 9 minutes.
5 quarters.
16. Jason Tatum outscored y'all in the last, and that fourth quarter, he outscored y'all by himself 16 to 13, bro.
And if we can continue that in a Game 7,
tack on 51.
Well over 60 plus there.
Right.
Unaccounted for.
And in that fourth quarter of Game 6, we're not even talking about Game 7. Jason Tatum goes on to outscore y'all 16 to 13 in the fourth quarter of Game 6. And in that moment when the game was very, very, very close, with every opportunity for you to finally take over, Joel, you go 3 for 6 and then cry in your press conference. I won't say cry, complain, whether those words want to be synonymous. Talking about you wasn't getting the ball enough. Somebody got to demand you. Somebody got to force you to want the ball. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's like that.
Gotta be better.
That was weak.
You was the MVP. He said in an interview, I just gotta be better, and I will be. So, bro, you was the MVP this year. What?
And I like to go check the posts of like Twitter, like to just see like, okay, what are people saying? Get a feel for what everybody's saying. And it was just like, man, and B looked real funny in the big lights when he can't get to the foul line.
Whoa.
He looked real funny, and when he can't get to the foul line. All right, y'all smoke Game 6. All right, fine. On your home court, you smoke Game 6. I mean, I didn't feel like y'all stood a chance to win Game 7 regardless, because like that was y'all moment of glory. But all right, Game 7. Let's regroup. It is what it is. You go into halftime of Game 7, excuse me. Only down 3. You're only down 3. You're only down 3. Like the game is y'all's to still be able to win. Y'all down 55 to 52. And lo and behold, you look up and y'all only scored 10 points in that third quarter. Y'all only scored 10 points in that third quarter as y'all ended up starting off the game down 55 to 52 to ending the quarter down 88 to 62.
Disgraceful.
Where were you at, Joel Embiid? And here's the other thing. He sat there and said, we can't win alone. So, not even
Tobias Harris actually had timely buckets at the
Forget the timely buckets, bro. PJ Tucker gave you 11 points in the first half.
Nah, that's actually nuts.
Bro, come on, dog.
On pace for 20, which is literally
probably
insane.
A career high. Like, bro. PJ Tucker barely shoots the ball. He devotes himself to sacrificing for the team to getting rebounds,
I know he
getting
killed so many
50-50
tickets
balls.
that game.
Man, he crucified boys on a second half ticket. Oh my God, I seen it on Twitter. They took him on the second half points.
First half.
They took him on second half points over on his points, and he never scored again after the first half.
Probably after the
Put it on now.
That's wicked.
But for Joel Embiid to talk as if like he didn't have substantial or adequate enough help, that's foul play, bro. That's foul play towards your team and disrespectful to your teammates from my point of view.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Team chemistry went down 80%.
And then for him to like get on there like joking on some like I knew somebody said that it's not failure, it's step to success. So yeah.
Steps to set the fuck up.
Hey man, y'all niggas actually won his shit.
You ain't even got to the conference
something.
finals yet, buddy.
You know who gets the percentage of the blame?
Nihao.
76ers.
Compound chicken.
The 76ers as a whole, bro.
Nah, bro. No.
Listen to my theory. No, you gotta listen to my theory.
All right.
First with the coach, with Doc.
With
Doc,
the coach.
you banned too many goddamn times. Doc, you banned too many times. You should know what to do by now. Period. You out the way. Joel Embiid, you're the MVP. You're supposed to be averaging so much. You're supposed to be averaging so much. You're supposed to be doing so much. You're supposed to be doing everything. You find reasons to not do anything at all. You got your role players that I feel like they could have carried it a little bit more than what they did, in a sense of not giving up, which is the least amount of blame I have to admit. And then you get to Harden and my opinion, dude. How do you decipher seniority blame? When you blame a person that's supposed to know what to do in that situation and they don't show up. When do we start blaming them? Not saying, no, don't get me wrong, like the bull's eye is Joel, but do you really just let Harden off the slate knowing that he's been in his position?
We didn't let
10
him
times.
Off the hook,
No,
but
you got it, Izzo. You can rock. I'll go ahead.
We didn't let him off the hook, but what we did tell you is he's giving you significantly more than he probably has in any other significant series in his career as far as 240 balls in pivotal games. Because a game one was a hard carry. No Joel, nobody, no expectations, but and they go out there and they win.
But you check the stats though. You check the stats though. The Celtics are known for letting guards put up high numbers.
Okay, who fucking fault is that? That ain't my fault.
But that's a part of their game. Let Harden do what he want to do.
But I'm saying though, when you let somebody do that and they kill you with it, nigga, it's the playoffs. This ain't just the regular season. We just gonna live with it. No,
like that 40 count, and it's without your MVP. You got a night off. Your team spotted you a game, Joel. Your team spotted you.
And you can't go get us at least 2 games.
If we're being honest,
you can't get us like you can't get. James Harden spotted you a game, Joel, while you was out, right? You can't get you can't return the favor and get us an elimination game on our home floor.
Yeah, we needed the Joel signature 55-point game. Needed that.
And here's the thing: the reason, and me and you talked about it, Darnell. I'm not just to blame Harden at all because he's crucified every year for what he don't do in the playoffs. So why should we expect anything from him? Let's not act brand new if he don't show up. Like that shouldn't be news to nobody. All right.
But why do people care when they get him? But
kind of did.
But no, those 2 games that we talked, those 240 balls are substantial enough to carry you throughout that series. Joel, get it done, bro.
Yeah, we need you. And if Joel give you 2 more games like that, they win. So I don't want to hear that other shit.
Essentially, James gave you 2.
James gave you 2 games.
James broke through. James broke through with his playoff curse, if you ask me. I'm not putting game 7 on. I'm not putting game 7.
Joel can't give you 2. Joel can't give you 2 more.
I'm not putting game 7 on Harden, D. I'm not putting game 7 on Harden at all. At all.
Jokic ain't let his team down.
He even give you his averages.
I don't. No, sir.
Four is
No,
okay.
But hey, but
that's-
no, you know,
that's
hey,
the
but
new
you want to
Harden
know
average.
something? You want to know something? When that's why it's called a team. So that's why you have 2 stars on the team, right? So if somebody else is playing piss poor, you would like to believe it would be an MVP that would be able to carry that extra weight, right?
Why you don't want to give Joel no credit for this? You want to just
Absolutely.
throw all
But
this
it's
on
just like
Harden.
I'm just not letting him off the slate as well. Oh,
I'm trying to
Joel,
figure
no,
out.
you are
Mean,
definitely
bro.
that's obvious. But it's just like, come on, like
No, what's obvious is we
it's like
kill Harden
it's
every
like you
year.
glorify him when he plays.
Let's actually give somebody some blame who deserves it. Joel Embiid,
Yes.
you did not play like an MVP when we needed you the most. You are the reason why the season is
Yes.
phenomenal. You're a majority
Kobe would never.
stakeholder of the reason on
LeBron
why
would
you
never.
went
Steph
home.
Curry would never.
Oh, hold on, too. Oh, yeah.
Harden
So
has been in this situation as well as being a guy that's worked hard, been snuffed for MVP, finally made it, got his MVP, and then crumbled in the playoffs. I feel like you can use that exact seniority and tell him to keep his mind straight.
But no, D, bro, you your own self, bro. You your own self talks about Harden not showing up. So why is Harden not showing up this season like people proclaim he's never done before? Why is that being held against him? Like, if anybody should know that, it should be Embiid to know, all right, he gave me 2. I really shouldn't expect more of him. When again, you could split those 80 points up to be 20 count for game 1, 20 count for game 2, 20 count for game 3, 20 count for game. Like, come on, bro. But before I know we stand on the Sixers. I want to applaud game 7 and the coaching adjustment that Mazzulla made, putting Robert Williams in. So now Joel Embiid, he had to go up against Al Horford and Robert Williams down there in the paint, and the Celtics defense as a whole. I really like that adjustment. And going back when you do get to a game 7, as I've said before, and I heard Kendrick Perkins saying it earlier today, basically saying like, yo, when you get in the game 7, like X's and O's are out of the window. Mano a mano. We know what you're gonna do, you know what we gonna do. Like, who gonna stand 10 toes down and not blink an eye? To a degree where I do believe that theory, there had to have been some type of X's and O's to, like, I feel like, get your MVP like easier looks to a degree, because like Joel Embiid getting the ball 18, 20 feet out around the elbow, around the perimeter, and just sitting there trying to like bypass Al Horford just to sit there and still have to get through the them like filling up the paint. Like, it's just like, Doc, can we draw up something easier for him? Like he is MVP and he should find a way to get the job done. But like, bro, like, we just gonna get him the ball and like make him try to go 1-on-5. Like, so like I want to blame Doc a little bit on that. And talking about his game 7 lapses, Doc Rivers. So since 2009, Doc Rivers has lost 8 game 7 game 7s in the playoffs since 2009. Of those 8, 6 of them he had 3-2 leads. One of them in 2015 was a 3-1 lead, which was to the Rockets. So when you talk about like, and again, and in this season he also had the 3-2 lead. I know through some of those Boston Celtics teams, like you had Kevin Garnett, he was like hurt for one of those game 7s, and sometimes players are injured throughout the course of those game 7 matchups that he had. But yeah, since 2009, 8 game 7s, and in 6 of those 8, he had at least a 3-1 lead, a 3-2 lead that he inevitably never could close in a game 7. Trying to put proper context to it, 2009, he lost to the late great Kobe Bryant, Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, Phil Jackson in 2009. 2010, he lost to the Magic, who ended up going to the championship that year. Then 2012, we all remember Game 6 LeBron in 2012 with the Heat, so he ended up losing to LeBron. And bro, had a 3-1 lead Well, he smoked 2 3-1 leads. He smoked the 3-1 lead to the Rockets in 2015, and he smoked the 3-1 lead to the Nuggets in 2020. And at that point, it's just like, I know people want to call him a great coach, but I'm just like, how do you not find a way to get these jobs, like to finish the job in these situations? And I know people are going to call him a championship coach, but like as the old saying goes, like players win games, coaches lose them. So when you think about him winning the championship that he did with the Boston Celtics, 3 Hall of Famers, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, so on and so forth, it's just like, did you coach them to victory, or did they just win you a championship? You know what I'm saying?
Them boys was ready to win a championship. You got Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. Them boys was ready.
You know what
They
I'm
like,
saying?
come on, Ray Sean, bring your little ass on past us tomorrow.
Tony Allen's and so on and so forth. But yeah, man, Doc Rivers top 10 all time winning coach, and the Eddie House top 10 winning coach all time in the regular season and playoffs. That just comes with longevity. But yeah, Doc Rivers blowing these Game 7 leads. I don't think that's something there. I don't think that's just like, oh, it just so happened. Nah, bro, like, come on,
There's
bro.
definitely something there. It's been something there. He ain't that guy.
Yeah, man.